I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so.
Day 4 of the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Federal law does not allow media to be inside the courtroom. It's a huge case, such as Ghislaine Maxwell trial. So we're going to attempt to get the information from people who were there and who are actually updating it as it goes. So we're very thankful for those people. So it's actually kind of good, because even though we don't see the expressions of the people there, usually body language, facial expressions are indicative of what is going on and how the person is actually delivering the information, the testimony in the courtroom. That's important. However, it's also the time that it takes for sidebars and breaks, objections, and things like that happens in the courtroom that is taking up too much time. So the breakdown is about 2.5 hours as opposed to 8 hours worth of testimony. They're not giving their opinions. They're just really transcribing all of the testimony on a tweet. So I think the first day was just formalities and all that stuff. And the second day was the testimony of the pilot that was flying the Lolita Express. And he explained, that he's seen things, but he's not locked into the cockpit when he's flying the plane. So it's easy for him to just go out and look around and go to the bathroom or whatever he needs to do. But he says that he's never seen anything that happened. And to me, that's very suspicious. So the pilot has been working for Jeffrey Epstein forever. So he's also gotten tuitions for his daughters, and he's been given vacations and all this time. He just had a lot of perks coming from Jeffrey Epstein. And I think that it's because Jeffrey Epstein is a very cunning person, and he knows that any of these people, no matter what, there's an NDA or whatever, they can just squawk and tell the secrets of what's going on. So of course he's gonna have to protect whatever's happening there and not talk about it. He was being pretty cagey about his answers when he's being asked about the minors that were in that plane that were being transported to different places like New Mexico and Florida and New York, etc. He was being very protective. I feel that it's normal for an ex-employee that was given all these perks to protect the employer. Even he's got information about a whole bunch of people in high places. So it's kind of scary. I mean, if Jeffrey was then he's probably also afraid for his life. I don't know why these people would decide that it's a good idea for their careers to be involved with nefarious activities that's happening. Stayed with him for a long time. So going past that, there was another girl, Jane Doe number 2. I also want to mention that Virginia Giuffre decided apparently she's not going to be testifying. Okay, there's a problem with that because she was the whistleblower in all of these things. She was the one that first went to the FBI to tell the FBI about the goings on at that place. Ghislaine Maxwell would lure these girls to come and have, you know, sex with politicians. Why would she, if she was so involved in it and she was the catalyst that made this all come out, why wouldn't she be testifying? There's something fishy going on. And the fact that Comey's daughter, Comey he was the head of the FBI at the time, and now it just seems suspicious why his daughter would be the prosecutor for this whole case. It's like it's all out there and it's all out in our faces. Ghislaine Maxwell and her attorneys are trying to bring in a psychologist specializing in false memory, and she is supposed to be some kind of an expert, including O.J. Simpson, Ted Bundy trials and all that. And she is supposed to come in and say, because of your false memory, you are now telling your story with confidence and realism as if it really happened, even though because of this happening a long time ago, you're already trying to believe that what you're saying is true, even though it isn't true. So they're already bringing this psychologist specializing in this. What is that category? What does that criteria fall under in the psychology world? I don't know. They're gonna try to muddy the waters. The most important witness is not going to testify. She's the one that's been all over the world. And I think that they're already setting it up so that all of these people that are in the little black book is not going to be culpable for this crime. They just have to save face now because she was arrested. People are really interested in this case. It's a big, huge case. And you know, for the media not to be there, not being able to be there. Being in the legal field, I know that the law is there are strict rules and there are strict laws, but it depends on the judge. If the judge is going to allow, they can make exceptions, and they can also read it, you know, the gray area and not black and white. Okay, so let's get into Jane Doe number 2. So Jane Doe number 2 said that when she was 14, she was by Ghislaine recruited. She wasn't really being supervised, and so she was able to go on trips with these people. Well, we know what happened. She was asked to go into rooms and do massages for Jeffrey Epstein. And at the same time, when she went to the pool, Miss GM was naked with 4 other women in the pool. She didn't say who they were, but it's being paid a whole lot of money, like $200, I think, for one massage. And for a 14-year-old child, that's a lot of money. And so she's traveling with them everywhere. And she was, her tuition was being paid for by Jeffrey Epstein. I believe she was in an art school. Jeffrey Epstein paid for not just hers, but a whole bunch of other different teenagers at that school. And so they named the school after him because he must have been like the highest donor for that school. But they've since changed it after he, you know, offed himself. So they were saying, you know, you knew that this was happening, you knew that it was wrong, so why did you keep going? It's something new for this girl. She's very innocent. She doesn't know what's going on, but she's under the control of these predators who was preying on her. And she didn't know what to do. She probably thought it was like something very innocent. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. But when she filled out the form for the school, she was saying that my family was loving and caring and all that stuff. So I don't know if she was talking about her family or family, which I really doubt, because she described her family as problematic. So maybe she was thinking about Jeffrey Epstein and GM. But she was very innocent, so she doesn't really know if that was wrong or right. We don't know. So when she was explaining the act and they were asking her, how did you feel about it? And she's like, I'm very ashamed. So she knew there was some kind of presence of mind there, even at that young age. She was forgetting a lot of things. I don't recall. I know that I went to the Lion King play when I was 14, but she could have had her dates wrong. I mean, at 14 years old, you don't really care what's going on. You're not going to say, oh, in 10 years or 20 years, they might ask me about this thing, so I might as well write it down, or like, make a mental note of it. You don't do that. You're a kid, kids are lazy when they're teenagers. From 14 to 18 or 14 to maybe 16, they're very rebellious. They only think about themselves. They are probably not absorbing any type of memory, like the events that happen. So I don't really blame her for that, and I don't even think that the jurors will take that into consideration. She was, if I was the lawyer, I would put up a picture of her when she was 14. I don't know if that happened, but I would have put up a picture of her when she was 14, and maybe even with Epstein. And while this woman is talking, the jurors are looking at her picture when she was 14, instead of looking at her, because then they can surmise in their mind that, hey, maybe the reason why she doesn't remember is because look at how young she is. I mean, they could associate that with their own kids or their grandkids at that age, or themselves at that age. So there was one question that they posed to the pilot, and the question was, would you have taken your own kids and sent them to Jeffrey Epstein by themselves alone? And he said no. No further questions. That was a good one. But is it just for show to say that, hey, look, if he won't let his kids go have and spend time alone with Epstein, then he probably knows something. That was really, 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 really good. Genius. So the lure of money, it should not be the catalyst or the harbinger of your life, because it could be a bad experience for you. And the money didn't really matter. The money didn't matter. The looks didn't matter. The status didn't matter. You really have to get in touch with that voice inside of you, your conscience, that says, having money, like it says in the Bible, to whom much is given, much is expected. And having a lot of money will just pull you away from what's important in life. And the riches you collect on this earth really doesn't translate to the riches that you should be saving for eternal life. So we don't know what's going to happen after we die. This isn't it. This is like a practice stage. This is not the end all and be all of your life, of your soul, of your spirit. And the closer you are to God, the less you're going to be enamored by what the world can give you. That's why people aren't happy. People aren't happy, and they want to protect what they have all their lives, but not even really knowing the meaning of it. Why am I protecting my riches so much? Why is it? Okay, let's think about this. When you reach a certain age, you can't enjoy it. Like, look at what's happening in the world today. Like, what do you need money for? To eat? You can, grow something in your garden and eat. Your things that are in your house, was it worth buying all these things for? Clothes, makeup, You can't even walk outside and show off your makeup. Like, I have lipstick, and I know that when I go out, my lipstick isn't going to show. It's just going to be my eyes like that. So you want to travel? Can anybody travel anymore? You know, unless you have the vax. What if you don't want the vax? You got to think like that. That's what you got to think about. Let's just say that things are happening so fast these days, and to our surprise, you know, even when they say, okay, you take this vaccine and then everything is going to go back to normal, is it? Did it? People who are unvaccinated are afraid of the vaccinated, and then vice versa. People who are vaccinated are afraid of the unvaccinated. Then, and that happens within the family, that happens within friends, within the family. Why don't you get vaccinated? Like, why don't you just mind your own business? I am not afraid to die. Is that what this is all about? You're afraid to die? And why are you so afraid to die? You're afraid to what's going to happen to you on the other side? Well, I mean, prepare for it. If you don't want to go to the bad place, then prepare for the good place. And the good place is heaven. So there's where your riches are at. Not here, not on this world. And you know what? Let's just say I die of starvation. Hello, everybody's gonna die, no matter whether you have food on the table or, you know, money to spend. What's gonna happen to your money? People are buying cryptocurrency now, Bitcoin, Dogecoin. Like, is your money even gonna be worth anything when the time comes? Nobody knows. Nobody knows the future. Like, these people that were molesting children, what kind of place are they going to go when they die? Because I know for a fact, that this is not the end all be all place. People need to realize that there is the principalities out there that are running amok right now, running amok. They are trying to control what they can control, because they can't control what happens at the end of this. On the other side, they can't control it. They've been defeated. And that's what we need to really focus on, because we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Jesus could come in an hour. What are you going to do? Are you prepared to get in front of him and say, I've done this for you, God? Not for myself, not for self-gratification, but for you. This is why I'm doing this. I am not doing this because I like to do this. I mean, I'm being called to do it. I don't really like talking in front of people. I'm not a very good speaker. And plus the fact that my first language is Tagalog, and I have to translate in my brain really quickly, you know, and try to impart the message out. I'm a better writer than I am a speaker, and I would admit that at any day. I love to write. I'm a writer at heart, and a better artist. I can translate my thoughts and my feelings through art. That's pretty much my message today, guys. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you can see there's a lot of people. This case is just a harbinger, the beginning of something that's coming up, that have quit their job, they have retired, or Jack Dorsey, Jeff Bezos, Microsoft CEOs, all these people. Why are they doing it? Are there any people in Hollywood that are putting out good movies? No. Where are those people that used to pump out movie after movie after movie after movie? You don't see them anymore. Something is up. And I just want to close by saying that. Please like this video. Please subscribe to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you guys will go and try to really read your Bible. There is a Bible app out there. It's called YouVersion, like YOU version. And it's one word. That I would love that if I can just get one person to turn back to God, then I have done my part. hopefully that you guys would accept Jesus in your hearts. And it's simple as that. Just accept him in your heart as your Lord and Savior, and things will open up for you. I just can't stress this enough, because people are very skeptical. People are hesitant. They don't know. They don't understand. If you don't understand, just please go out there. There's so many preachers out there like Adrian Rogers. I am just put my money on him. And the way he explains the Bible and God and all those things that will save your soul, it's just phenomenal. He has since passed away, but just going back and listening to his preachings or his teachings will just blow your mind, especially when he starts talking about the book of Revelation. Oh my gosh, you guys need to get that series. So that's all I can say, and I've said enough, and I had said too much for one video. And I hope you guys keep coming back. I love you guys, and please click the like button and give me some comments. If you believe, you don't believe, whatever. I can handle it. I'm a big girl. Come on now. We'll see you in the next video. Get ready for Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday, and I hope it is yours too. Bye.